as a person. I'm excited, and I'm like, when I admire what I see, like with the content a person puts out, and I admire your content, I'm just I start treating this site like it's not even a YouTube channel. No, I'm just on Zoom, just talking with my old friend Mimi from elementary school. Since we go back like big crayons and big coloring books. That's how I treat it. That's what I try to do. I'm not trying to put any pressure on or anything like that. So it's like, hey Mimi, what's up? What's going on?
Those are like, once in a lifetime friends, by the way. So the ones that go back to the like playgrounds and coloring books. Oh yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got to keep those friends. Now, that's another thing I learned at 30. Instead of, I was starting to work on myself in my 30s because I was in a long-term relationship in my 20s. So that's why I've been treating my 30, like, what you like said, we're trying to normalize people working on themselves and being independent women. Our values are like, I shouldn't have to feel pressure to find somebody to, find value within myself. So yeah, those personal relationships really helped me because they humble me. They help me, find out who I was before I lost myself in my 20s, if that makes sense. So I'm sorry, that was just on a tangent of like your friend Mimi, but go on. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's what it's about. Like, so everything that's going on with your TikTok now, how are you? I've been watching your channel grow, man. It's like how are you feeling? Now you're over 100K now. What's going on with this? Like now you got these super fans. I hope these are like legit fans that are like appreciating the funny that you're bringing. No creepers are out there yet, but let's be honest. There's gonna be about like a couple of creepers. Like any crazy stories about that? Like anybody that we have to keep an eye on, keep an eye out for.
I was going through all my like DMs just the other day because they were giving me anxiety. Once I blew up, your notifications are going off, and I'm just like, oh gosh. But I finally went through some of them. I finally had the courage to. Oh, I was dead. I had like people offering to be my sugar daddy for like a couple grand a month, and like I had one guy going like, "Do you sell feet pics?" I had numerous amount of accounts asking me if I have an OnlyFans. I do not.
Don't spread those rumors. You don't have one.
Right. No, nothing against sex work, because I did used to, bartend at a, establishment of that sort, and I got to know some of those women, and they're humans, and it's not that I'm like bragging on their work, but it's just not my work. That's not my platform. Anyway, however, and the one that cracked me up was he just one sentence, "I want to lick your souls." I was like, "Ooh, God, my feet are rancid. I don't think you want to do that, buddy."
What is it with guys and going straight for the feet? My fiance got that same request. Like wait, sir, I sell medical like scrub caps. What is it? Why are we talking about the feet? Like what's going on here? Why? I mean, nothing against anybody's kink. If you like it, I love it. That's fine. Everybody's got their thing. But it's funny how it's like it's never connected. It's like, oh, you sell teddy bears in at the mall. Can I have pictures of your feet? Like why does it always go there? Like, it never makes sense.
It cracks me up too. And not to get all like, politically correct, but somebody actually like, okay, the questions that I get in my DMs, I guess they don't faze me and I don't take that seriously because I worked in the bar industry and like restaurant industry for like since I was 16. I've been getting weird questions like this for so long, and it's just I'm used to it. And it's like it's nothing out of the ordinary, but it still tickles me pink. Like I'm like, it's so funny. And somebody told me, actually educated me on it. There's a nerve connected to like sexual pleasure, and it's dangerously close to like the nerve of like, I guess you're like the nerves in your feet. So maybe some people are born with it intertwined. I don't know. I'm not really like a medical scientist or anything, or I have no knowledge in neuroscience.
I know people are probably going to be watching this video. They're like, go on.
But that was just a theory I heard from somebody who was educated in neurosciences and stuff. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's weird, but I'm not saying that I'm not kink shaming either, but it's like, oh, okay. It made sense. Like it made me like contemplate, okay, well, cool. And then I moved on. So
I'm like, yeah, no, I am kink shaming, by the way.
But I ain't shaming because apparently these girls be making money off of like, beat stuff. And during the pandemic when the restaurants and bars were all shut down and I was out of work, then, I was like, I wonder.
Exactly. You know what? That makes sense. You know what? We're all in lockdown. It's like, I wonder what pressure point.
I wonder how I can advertise like Asian feet somehow. Like, you know, like maybe like use some chopsticks or something. Like, I don't know.
Oh wow, $1 million idea. You know, you're not gonna say. There's always somebody out there that's gonna be like what is that joke with they have the credit card? They're like, take it, take
ding,
the
ding,
card.
ding.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
What do you?
I was thinking about. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. No, go. You can finish.
I was gonna say, like, you know that TikTok that went around, like, I am this close, and I thought about making it over the pandemic with like panning over my feet and then going to the camera like, and then like green screen and green screen on OnlyFans, like, I am this close.
Just like the other one where it's what do they say? When I find out how much these other women make on OnlyFans, and they're like, whoa, and they show a little whoop, like she try to contemplate like they're thinking about it. I'm cursed with what's known as punchable face syndrome. So when I get out there, I try to do that same trend, and I get banned from TikTok for 7 days. Content blocked because you try too hard to be cool, Chris. You know, that's what they do. They block me for just trying to be cool. I can't pull it off. I'm 41 years old. They figured it out. I'm not cool.
Look at that. Black don't crack, Asian don't raisin. I honestly thought you were younger than me. You've got such.
It's funny, the other comedian that I podcast with, I think I told you about that, right? She came up with, we said that she said the same thing, Asian don't raisin. That was the first time I ever heard that expression. We were this close to naming the podcast Crack and Raisin or something like that.
That is good. Oh, I would have totally ate that one up. You said it was for like the he black, she Asian, right?
He black, she Asian. We were gonna talk about just whatever's currently going on, or we could pick a topic from the past, or just like current events or anything like that. Just anything that could connect the two communities, or if it could just be a story that's mostly only focused on the Asian community or the Black community, just depending on what was going on at the time, if it's just a thing we wanted to talk about. And definitely the coming together of it. Like I made a joke about Nelly's video about half Black and Asian, that's our podcast idea. We've only done like one episode, and we kind of got busy, so I don't know. Maybe a guest could spark it up again, and then I'll have like the three panels, have you and her there, and then I'll just be sitting there going, hey guys, I'm the black guy.
Look, I'm the token. Hey,
hey, and Chris, it's two beautiful young ladies and this punchable guy right here.
Stop.
I'm always that's a rule for this show. You got to be quick with. What do they call that? The person that gets a kick out of like jokes at their own expense. I like it when people roast me. So like if you come up with something quick, I don't care. Go for it. Take a shot.
I feel like because of like the traumas and like trials that people of color have gone through, that's why we have such a great sense of humor about ourselves. Like, you see my content, I don't take myself seriously. Half of that stuff are jokes. And some of that stuff, like, I'll see the comments like, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I'm like, I'm sorry too, but laugh at my pain. Like, I feel like we're really, really resilient. We are really resilient to, I guess, I don't want to say self-loathing, but like, self-criticism perhaps. I don't know if that's the right term for it.
Self-deprecation? What's the phrase?
Yes, that's it. Self-deprecation. Yeah. And, because we went through, different trials and tribulations of just being a people of color. I'm not saying that like not as much as Black people, like that's another subject for another day. And when people roast us, we have a thick skin. We were built for that stuff, And I think it's like when we identify being comfortable with ourselves, we can take that pain. Like, we can take those hits because we know that, like, go ahead and call me a chink. Go ahead and use a hard ER for some people. We're just built to be like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe that's something I've learned in my, like, as I got older. some people just don't hate me. Maybe they just hate themselves, or they just don't love themselves enough that like, you know, I don't hate you. Like, I mean, maybe you can change your ways, but like, that's not my responsibility to change that. But maybe it helps me learn. It helps me get stronger. I don't know about your experiences, but definitely with mine, especially growing up Asian down south. So
yeah. No, and that leads me to another thing. That was one of the things that I don't know. Was that the moment where your channel really started to blow up when people heard you speak for the first? Because at first I think you were doing a lot of voiceover stuff, right? And then you started using your own voice, and then people were like, because they love that.
Yes!
People love the unusual or whatever doesn't fit in the box of normality. Like, there's another YouTube channel that my wife loves because it's a black woman who was born and raised in, like, it was either Ireland or Scottish. She's either Irish or Scottish, but she has that accent, whichever one it was, and it's very deep, and either Irish or Scottish. And whenever she talks, I mean, it's so what you wouldn't think. That, and she's a lovely person, and I think she lives here in Texas, where I'm from, here in Houston. I think she's from here.
So I was raised in a very rural town before I moved to, you know, bigger cities. When I, like, you know, when you go off to college, you go off to bigger cities and things like that. And I've actually met a couple of like other folks who, you know, were like me, and yeah, it would shock them at first, but they get used to it, I guess. Like, you know, I have an Asian friend from like Lexington, North Carolina. She talks country as me too. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when we found each other, it was like, it didn't faze us. It was like, oh, this is how we talk down in North Carolina. And this accent that I have, we kind of border Virginia a little bit. Maybe that's why it's a little more unique than the rest of North Carolina. I learned that, by the way, on a dialect map. And back in my hometown, everybody talks like this. Like, when I go back home, it doesn't faze anybody, because to them, this is like, oh, this is how we speak English down here. Like, you know, like, so yeah, when I do go to other cities, like when I go to visit family in New York or, you know, Boston, they're like, oh, like, what you do, huh? And I used to be real self-conscious about it, because like I try to talk, you know, I call this my PR voice. You know, I do try to talk like, hey, how are you? Good. And then when you like get me comfortable, my walls start coming down and that accent comes out, and then they're just like,
they're like,
I stop listening. Yeah, they just stop listening to everything I say altogether and be like, where are you from? What? Like, voice doesn't match the buffering symbol.
You're right, exactly. So, yeah, you have to try to channel your inner California accent again. Like, I apologize.
I have so many stories from the bar. Maybe because they're drunk and it doesn't work. Like, you know, because like, you know, I bartend. I've had a lot of people just like, are you making fun of the way I talk? And I look at them like, you making fun of the way I talk? And they're like, whoa, your accent's real. I'm like, yeah, what'd you expect, that I was gonna start talking Chinese or something? Like,
whoa, accent fight, whoa.
North Carolina, North Kakalaki right here, Tar Heel State, woo, baby.
Oh my God, what's that other TikTok when those girls were naming their colleges? I'm from
I almost
Texas.
did that one, yeah.
I'm from Texas, North Carolina. I'm like, woo. Like, what?
Like, hi, I'm Texas from Oklahoma State, and I'm going to Texas.
Mimi from North Carolina. Chris, that's how I should start the show every day. Chris Fagan, Chris Fagan from Houston, Texas. No, I don't know. I still can't pick out what they were saying, and I'm from the damn state. I don't know. I'm like, what?
That's the thing, though. Like, when I have an accent off, I'm like, who needs subtitles to talk? Like, and my goal is to really just to make y'all laugh. You know, that's all I want to do. Don't take me seriously.
That's what I say. Never take life too seriously, because you'll never get out alive.
Right. Yeah. Nobody ever makes it out alive. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, it's about self-love as well. You know, I know there's a lot of self-deprecation, but it's all coming out of like self-love. It's just learning how to grow and, you know, become yourself. And this is who I am, a country Asian. Like,
exactly. I tell people all the time, don't mind me when all the me picking on myself about my punchable face. It's all from a place of love. All my self-hate comes from a place of love.
But don't you dare punch my new bestie's face at all, or we gonna be new enemies now. Like, you know.
Oh, thank you. And for the guys, and real quick before you guys leave, I'll tell you the video she's talking about. So you were walking your dog, and you were just explaining that want to tell my audience what you were called that kind of inspired this video to be made.
Well, I walk my dog like 3 times a day outside, and it's a really good residential area, and I just hear, Milf, MILF. And I go, are they asking me to move? And I take off my headphone and I hear, MILF, MILF. And they're like riding their bikes and skateboards. Like, they wreak havoc around this neighborhood all the time. And I'm like, did they just call me I heard it again, MILF. And I'm like,
Because you always think of MILF being like a woman like closer to maybe 50 or something like that, with kids or that are in college or something like that, and you're like the total opposite of Mimi right here. Like, what are we talking about? What are we doing?
Right.
Yeah, like your parents are already calling you on the phone. I heard that you were being defined as a MILF. You got husband yet? Are you doctor? Are you a doctor yet? You can't be a MILF before you're a doctor.
Right? Like, oh my goodness, my parents probably don't even know what that term is too. That's another reason why I was scared of going viral. So my parents had me real late. Like, my dad's in his 70s, my mom's in her 60s. So like they have no idea I blew up on TikTok. They don't even know what TikTok is. Like I said, they just think, oh, TikTok on the clock. Like, where's your husband? Like, like they don't give a crap about that stuff, I'm sure. Maybe if I start making some money or millions and get some deals, maybe they won't care, but they'll still probably ask me to this day. I could be a millionaire taking care of him. Where's your husband? Doesn't
mean anything. He has to be a high value man. He's got to be.
Is he doctor?
Is he a doctor?
Yeah, is he a doctor?
I mean, it's with some generations, especially this new generation. I guess that's the best compliment they could come up with, because I'm sure they meant it in a complimentary way. If you would have been in the neighborhood I grew up with, you would have probably gotten the ultimate compliment you could have gotten in a black neighborhood, which is the 2-syllable damn. The damn. Yeah, that's the ultimate compliment you can get.
Not that I encourage catcalling, but like, it's one of those things is, as I've gotten older, if I do get that, I get like, okay, I still got it.
Yeah, like in your early 20s, how dare you, sir? How dare you? A little bit later, you're like, oh, still got it. That's right. Call all your friends.
Given that they're not teenage boys, though, that's why that threw me off a little bit. Like, what the hell?
True. Exactly. You're like, it's like, it's so yeah. You remember, guys, just keep the cat calling at a minimum. It's not always flattering. You never know. I look at it as those. I have a simple rule. Like, when me and my fiance are out at a restaurant, whenever I notice somebody who's very attractive, it's just like that menu. I can look at what's on the menu. I can't order everything. So I take a quick peek. Just not gonna order. Not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna.
Exactly. You were raised right. You were raised right to respect women, and you can compliment women and make them feel good without making them feel uncomfortable. You were definitely raised right, and I feel like there's like I don't want to get on this subject because I know I'll probably stir up so much, but like, there's a toxic masculinity that hasn't really been like weeded out yet, just because we are kind of in like a patriarchal society. So women still aren't paid enough. There's decisions in like Congress and, the Senate that are being made for women by old ass white men. There's so much about systemics that need to change for women and people of color. We won't get on that because like, we're trying to keep it lighthearted, but that's where it is. That's where it stems from. Men are comfortable just, saying what they want, treating women how they want. And it's like, there's got to be a point where, women are going to fight for their rights to like, be like, no, you can't do that. But it really helps when it's like changing within the system. There are going to be some men that are too scared to stand up for us. So I respect the ones that are like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that. Like, we're not saying that men should be less equal than women. It's just that we should probably have women be equal to us. And I respect that hell out of men that realize what real feminism is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
So I'm glad that you were raised right because like, all in all, it has to do with respect for each other. We're not saying we want to be more important than men. We don't want to say like, we want to be greater than men. We just want to be equal. We just want to be treated equally. That's all,
I got it. Oh, oh, there she goes. Sorry, she was scratching me the whole time. I'm trying to listen and everything, and then all of a sudden I feel the claws of death like right in my back. I'm like, yes, I agree.
No, you're okay, because my dog was licking my foot, like my ankle, my foot down here underneath this table, and I had to keep the laughter.
But you're right, and you know, it starts. It starts at home where guys have to learn we can't always. I mean, because we can't always go out and do that because that's where it starts in our minds that's an innocent thing. It's in your head. It starts like you think it's innocent, and then if it evolves into other things, that's where these problems can stem from. You think the whole boys will be boys notion can get out of hand, especially when people are going unchecked with anything. If it goes unchecked for too long, then people think they can get away with anything, and that's when it gets more disrespectful, more toxic, and it just builds and builds and builds. And the more people ignore it, the worse it'll get. So you're right. It starts with guys. For example, guys thinking that shaming people is the solution. Like, no. How about guys? Let's just stop being pervs. That's the root of it. let's stop. Like, you know what? Are we gonna shame her for having feet, or are we gonna stop asking about their feet? Let's start there.
You know, yeah.
Right.
And there's and back to why I love TikTok so much. You know, that video that went viral about like the majority of men on there were like, you know, when they called you a MILF, you should take it as a compliment. And the reason I love TikTok, there's a community, you know, everywhere you go, there's going to be that, like, you know, misogynistic man community, or just like that side of TikTok that, like, you know, says those things. But guess what? I didn't have to say a word. People were coming for them in the like saying everything. I didn't need to like, you know, just standing up for me, or just standing up for like the side of like the people that think this way. And I was just sitting there eating popcorn, reading the comments, like, I ain't got to do a thing. I just got to sit back and enjoy it. I love TikTok.
That means you have a good community. I wish my YouTube community was like that. 95% guys, and let me make one mistake on a movie reference, and I'm gonna have like 100% of them coming at me. You wouldn't understand. She's TikTok famous, and you know, I'm trying to get that TikTok shout out.
Stop. I like to call them my my new 100,000 friends that I made, my new besties, because like I don't want to the term famous is just so what arbitrary. I don't even know the word for it. It's put so much pressure on me because I just want to make y'all laugh, and I get a little self-conscious about like, is this content going to be good? Are they going to like this? And then I think, you know what? I'm doing this for me. Remember that. I got to stay humble. I'm doing this for me too. And if they don't like it, tough. There'll be probably 10,000 more, 10 people, you know, there will be 10 more like them that probably will think I'm funny. And it doesn't matter because I do it for me. I do it for my family. I just want to make my friends laugh. That's all.
Well, that's good. That's what it's all about. And I'm glad that you get a kick out of it, and it shows. I can feel the energy that is a positive vibe from your content. So let's. Hopefully, if you ever want to come back and guest on I don't know if on the main show or anything like that, maybe we should have like a talk maybe on He Black She Asian. Maybe you want to get on that. We could probably argue about, you know, back in his prime, when Tiger Woods was playing in his prime, which side of him was hitting the ball so accurately? Was his Asian side or his black side? Maybe we'll talk about that. That's the question, the ultimate question between the communities. Which side?
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, my father lives, breathes, and eats golf, so I kind of have a little knowledge about this stuff with the golfing. And like, yeah, you know what? I'm coming back on here. Why not? You got a great. I feel like, you know, we got a lot of ideas to bounce off of, and I wish you had more time to do this too. Yeah. Oh wow. I wish I had more time to do this.
Right. No, I appreciate that. Yeah. So I'm glad I dodged another punchable face moment. So I'm good. I passed. I'm good. I'm good. Okay, cool. I appreciate. So if anybody if they want to catch back up with you and find you online, where can they find you?
Well, so I'm on TikTok as Minnie.madness, and also same handle except without the dot at Instagram. Don't find me on Facebook. That's where my real Bible Jesus name's under. So the name that my mother calls me on, please don't find me on Facebook. So but yeah, you can check me out on Instagram at Minnie Madness. That's MINNIE Madness. And TikTok handle is Minnie, MINN, same spelling, .madness. So you can check me out on there. Call me an idiot. I already think I am. Like
That's awesome. So guys, yeah, go check her out. Go follow her if you haven't. If you're not a follower already, go. It's very funny stuff that she puts out there. I think I just saw your last TikTok where you were kind of making fun of yourself and how you think you sound when you're singing the songs and how you really sound. I was watching that one. We all think we can sing when we're in the show. Like me when I'm in the shower. I'm like, yeah, that's when I turn into Seal, Kissed by a Rose, and I can sing that song perfectly. But out of the shower, I'm trash. I know. So I got to get better.
I compare you to a kiss from. Oh, now it's stuck in my head now. Okay.
See, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna go old school now. I'm gonna sing the Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony. So all that stuff, I'll get on it.
Listen, we about to drop an EP right here. Minnie and Chris. Hey, what's up?
Minnie Chris. Okay.
You crack me up, man. You funny too. Okay.
Let me let you go because I will be here for another hour and
look,
you're gonna be late to work.
We'll talk again. It's fine. They know what I'm doing. It's fine. I will let you go though. So it was really nice to meet you, man.
Our supporters help make all this content possible, so make sure you check out our Patreon page so you can help us bring you the content you want.
Push the pedal to the freaking metal. I'm turned up just like heavy metal. Yo. Turned up on another level. Push the pedal to the freaking metal. I'm turned up just like heavy metal. Blast.